Alright, hello and welcome back for more PSU LCS action as we got Coach Cap versus Universe starting up here in just a few minutes. Getting ready on the pro draft side of things. But pretty big matchup here this evening. Some heavy hitting teams in the standings. Universe currently sitting in second place at 16-4. Coach Cap not too far behind at 14-6, so a 2-0 here for Coach Cap puts them tied with the Universe in terms of standings here. That's a 5-2 jump in total, so very big game here for both of these teams this evening. Universe, of course, can be trying to keep on to that top position, keep themselves in the number 2 spot coming into playoffs, get that nice seeding, take on the number 7 team. Come when playoffs hit, Coach Cap looking to bridge that gap and start pushing themselves even further up in the rankings. Both these teams also playing quite a bit in the past few days, so pretty darn solid. As I do have the co-caster here finally, so give me 1 minute. And we will be right on with the cast. Move to... Alright, welcome. We now have co-caster. How is it going, Nightlark? Joining me here this evening.
Pretty good.
Very solid.
Getting towards that the end of semester grind. We're like, what, 5 weeks out?
Less than
we're
5,
done?
I think. Because this is the second round of midterms right now, so... we will see how those go.
Yeah.
I think we are getting ready here on draft. but try to get one more in.
Go drafting. Oh, I should probably.
We'll be good to go. Yeah, you probably need to boot up League of Legends. Oh, there
It
you
is.
go.
I am online.
All right, there you go.
There we go.
All right, and I'll get you the Pro Draft spec link in a moment here when I find it. And then we will be good to go. Casual slow start to stream. But in any event, just about ready to go here on the draft.
Oh boy, these spectator names, or sorry, these team names on Pro Draft are getting a little spicy.
Team cap. And they have the confidence to play it, and we'll have to see if they have the confidence here as we get into the draft.
I'm kind of looking
Coach
to
Cap,
see.
sorry, not Team Cap. I'm gonna ban away the Zillion. First off, taking away the pocket pick for Squishy Beans. Kaisa also banned away by Universe. Not gonna let Gated get one of his signature picks this time around. So switching things up a bit.
Oh, Pierre got banned, as to be expected.
He's really strong right now, and also, again, Procraft plays a mean Urgot mid lane. I'm sure I need to get better, can vouch for that one, or Emmy Yusa now, as the 83rd name change comes through.
The Alistair ban is to be expected as still only virus. That's one of his also signature picks. And Udyr banned away. That's kind of interesting, because both Catalyst and Boobies play that.
Yep, so more going on the way of just don't want to deal with it this time. Definitely more of a red side ban, so it was quite interesting seeing it going out on the blue side. Especially for, like you said, both teams do utilize Udyr. Lilia going to be the final ban here, so going to keep them away from that AD top mid, but instead they're going to lock in Hecarim first pick, which might just be the strongest jungler on 11.6.
He got nerfed, by the way. But I don't think anyone realizes that.
No one realized he got nerfed.
That, and it's kind of interesting looking at these bans out of the universe. None of them going towards Ivan, which is something that a lot of teams tend to target.
Yeah, well, you do have two teams here where the top lane is definitely a position that can pop off between 4022 as well as Universe Soul. So, Universe probably pretty confident in their top laner to be able to at least deal with 4022. They're going to lock in Jarvan Seraphine.
Okay.
Jarvan definitely not something we see often.
It's a good low econ jungler, though, which may play well into the Hecarim if they expect him to be behind.
Yep, and Rel Hubbard is one of the more characteristic counters to Seraphine right now, with the Q being able to disengage shields, as well as just really good engage in pretty much all stages of the game. And Sivir locked in besides Spell Shield. Lots of damage, AD, and lethality build flexibility. Really solid pick here. So Universal probably going to pick up the AD carry. You still have stuff like the Jhin open. You still have Xayah as a possible option, although not necessarily greatest into Sivir specifically.
Yeah.
Some of the meta picks. Instead, we're going to get Procraft Swain locked in for mid lane. So they are just going to grab that up before it gets banned out in the second round.
Which is interesting because you're now blinding Swain mid, which, if it's to be expected, unless Universal here wants to pull it out in the top lane, which might be interesting. But that sort of puts you in a weird position because now they're just going to pinch your AD carry and, top laner. But
I actually don't mind
the Swain.
I don't mind the Swain blend as much because you are on red side, so you're blinding that fourth pick anyway. So might as well just take the Swain while you can secure it as a comfort pick for your mid lane, which is, you could say, a bit of a lane kingdom sometimes. And for Coach Cap, Vale does have a pretty hard impact on all of the games that Coach Cap does play. Just, even if he's playing a more supportive champion, does get around the map, is one of their primary shot callers, as we've seen in prior seasons as well. But
this does mean I think we're going to expect an R4 AD carry pick.
Because should be an R4 carry.
Down, and you want to keep the counter pick for Universal in this situation?
Yep, absolutely so. 4022 gonna have to go in this one blind. Of course, Irelia still available for the Irelia 1 trick. Does work very well with their composition as well. Have a Seraphine to buff it up. Swain as a just drain tank force that is impossible to chew through. Irelia, not a bad pickup here for Universe.
I think it'd be kind of scary if Jarvan gets like a 3-man ult and Swain gives his eyeball.
Yeah, Vanguard's Edge as well is very disgusting, and you're not even considering the Seraphine ulti on top of that.
Yeah.
But they are going with the Ezreal first, which is fine. Don't want to blind the Irelia into someone with as deep a champion pool as 40-22. Has a lot of answers to it, including the Akali, which is still up. So good.
Yeah, I was surprised that he didn't get at least one ban on any of his mains, but I guess they were trying to protect their bot side more.
They already know they're giving counter pick over to Universal anyway, so if he's confident in his picks. And one thing that has slipped through the bans, Nightlark, is the Rumble.
Oh, it's tragic. it's a tragedy. Okay.
Yep.
What's the statistics on that in PSU LCS right now?
On Veil, very high. Very high for Veil. I'm not sure about the overall win rate, because it might be that Veil is the only person who's played it, and they are going to blind the Shen top lane, so this does actually do fairly well into stuff like the Camille. I'm pretty sure it has a winning matchup early on to Irelia once you have the Spirit's Refuge. So, can be
I
a
think
good
also,
pick.
even if you're behind, Shen's still useful, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a big utility pick there for Universe.
Which is why that got banned out against me in our games the other day.
Yeah. When you play Shen and you know you are going to be weak sided. Oh, we're going to go with the Sylas in top lane here. So quite heavy AP comp for Universe, but
I think I actually kind of like that into the Shen.
Oh, it's very good to Shen.
You have AP scaling.
It is very good to Shen. It's AP scaling. You get a Shen ultimate.
Yeah.
It's legit unplayable.
Hold on, I'm looking for Rumble right now in the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Veil's Rumble, I'm not sure how many games Veil specifically has on the Rumble pick, but he has to be the majority of them. Any event here getting into
There are
draft.
5 picks and 10 bans with a 60% win rate.
So yeah, pretty solid for Rumble. For how the champions have been performing in solo queue, definitely overperforming in PSU LCS.
Granted, you have a pool of 5 games, so it's not that much. But
still, that's why we take so long on bans here. We did have them all mapped out beforehand, but we can look over the competition as we do have them locked away for the pro draft. So top to bottom for Coach Gap, going to be Shen, Hecarim, Rumble, Civarel with Universe spotting in response. Sylas, Jarvan, Swain, Ezreal, and Seraphine. Lots of S's across their side of the board. We got two. I mean, both these teams looking for the team fight, for sure. They want to get in the Rumbles.
We're going to get some good 5v5 action, I think.
Yeah. We have some interesting early game interaction. If I'm going to take a guess at it, I think that Swain will more than likely do fine into the lane against Rumble for the most part. You do the E's disengage for a root, although it does have to take some time to get back to you. W plus Q. Rumble, what champions really necessarily don't want to do into Swain's is get into that melee range kind of style, because Swain has the Q, he has the E, will auto hit at that range. Does quite a bit of damage, and the ulti.
Yeah, I'm going to assume he's going Conqueror too, which means you never
Conqueror
want to get into an extended fight, because he'll just sit there and be like, this is fine. I have HP, but you don't.
Rumble wants to do that exact thing, is get into an overheated flame spitter right in melee range, so you take a few hundred damage just in that ability alone. Now, Rumble can play this in quite different ways. Veil has its own extreme amounts of proficiency on the champion, so can poke out with the harpoons, stuff like that in the early game especially. Wouldn't be surprised actually if he tries to max against Swain, but might just go for the early all-ins with Flame Spitter. I'm not a Rumble player, so wouldn't necessarily know the exact matchups dependent thing, but top lane is going to be a very hard press point for Coach Gap. Sylas kind of makes Shen unplayable. You get his ultimate for free, so you can respond every time Shen responds to a play on the board, with a bigger shield because of Sylas' AP ratio, as well as you just outright win the lane past like level 3. Once you have Abscond, Abduct, get Kingslayer, you're pretty good. Well, you can start dealing with some of Shen's max health auto tech so long as you don't start off the trade with the W.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how 4022 wants to itemize here, because like buying Bramble is like okay, but you're not really getting a good effective stats in the Sylas. And I like that they have split damage with their jungler versus their laners, so even if you want to itemize against your laner, you still have to build armor to deal with that Jarvan.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, I've been talking a lot about it, but it is not all doom and gloom, of course, for Coach Gap in terms of the laning phase. Civarel should be pretty dominant into Ezreal Seraphine. Seraphine, although a strong champion, not necessarily the best laner in the world, does need to get some items, does need to get some levels under her belt to really start being that disgustingly powerful healer, shielder, and engage champion that she can be in the mid to late game. So
I mean, she could also just buy Moonstone and one-shot your AD carry, so there's that too. But
but you still need like 10 minutes to get the Moonstone. It's, you know, you got some time to play the early game. So
perhaps.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The only virus engaged should have a fine time in bot lane, possibly something that Catalyst can look at to dive. With the Veil, we've seen the Rumble do a lot of bot lane dives in previous Coach Cap games, so is a pretty valid strategy at this point for the team to pull off in bot lane. Wouldn't be surprised seeing it, as Squishy Beans will be very squishy on the Seraphine.
Yep, I think it'll be. I think this will mostly come down to execution because they're both teams are very team fight oriented, right? So like, it's all gonna come down to the team fight. It's like the split push may matter, but it's like it's Sylas and Shen in a side lane. They're just kind of slapping each other for 5 minutes, then they walk away and teleport back in. So
Yep.
We'll see how that goes.
Like I said, we always try to rate how these teams did in draft. I think that Coach Gap probably has the overall better composition. You have great engage with Hecarim and Sivir and Rel, all being able to facilitate that. You have really good damage between your bot to mid, bot to jungle 3-man there between Gated Veil and Catalyst on Hecarim, Rumble, and Sivir. So a lot of good damage, a lot of good shielding. You have good front line as well between Rel and Shen that can just soak up some of the damage from Universe. So if I was going to give a team the win here, probably going to be Coach Gap on that side of things. But Universe certainly with plenty of tools, and as the game continues to go later, Universe seems to have a better and better chance once Sylas starts getting that 3-item marker. Though Sylas is very strong early as well, but can't scale, especially if you take the Conqueror. Swain always better in the late game. Seraphine and Ezreal, very hard scaling champions. So do have a lot of potential to continue to be viable in 5v5. Even from a slight deficit, I'd say, though. I will give the comp advantage to Coach Gap.
Yeah, I think too, just the fact that they have so many more go buttons, right? Because you can either Rumble ult to start off a fight, you can Sivir R, you can Hecarim R, or Rel can find a great engage, where it seems like really most of the engage is either on Seraphine or Jarvan. You do have the ability, though, with Sylas to be very powerful, taking the Hecarim R, or maybe even the Rumble R. So any engage tools that are on ultimates for Coach Gap are also available to Universal, which I think will be a very interesting matchup to see.
Yeah, certainly something that's going to be interesting dynamic-wise. The problem I have with Universal specifically is the jungle lane. Like really hard, the Jarvan. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of your combo potential with Swain, Sylas, and Seraphine. As well as Ezreal, you do have the two-shot barrage that can come in over top there on the Cataclysm. But J4 would generally see him picked as an early game jungler. Has some early game fighting potential. Is really good at like the level 2, level 3 ganks. In mid and top lane especially.
I think there does come a time where he just eventually loses.
Yeah, the thing is, even in the early game where Jarvan's considered at his strongest points, Hecarim is still stronger. And that makes it very hard for Jarvan to be able to do much, especially if something happens like Veil starts getting a lot of pressure against Procraft in mid lane, which should be a lane that's pretty hotly contested, I'd assume. Then you could see Booby starting to have a lot of trouble on Jarvan with getting consistently invaded, consistently having problems fighting off the Hecarim, and that will cause quite a bit of pain here for Universe as the game moves forward. But we're getting into game here, loading on the screen, looking at some runes. Is going to be the Conqueror on Swain as well as the Sylas and Jarvan. So 4 Conquerors actually over on the side of Universal. Or Universe, sorry.
So maybe buying, I mean, both teams, I think, or maybe mainly for Coach Gap, getting that early heal reduction will give them a lot of value. With 4 Conquerors, a Swain, a Sylas, and a Seraphine, it'll be I think massive value out of the 800 gold investment.
And we do, in fact, have a full 5-stack coming out from Coach Gap. They're going to try to look for somebody here on it. Universal is up on the Silas and Tribrush, getting some scouting.
Not sure how I feel about their level 1.
Yeah.
I mean, Jarvan
Jarvan
didn't see him there. I think Rel could have waited, but yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get some vision.
Go and get a ward.
They're going to get some vision on top side. Going to be exchanged for vision on bot side here by Revix and Squishy Beans, so not a huge loss overall in terms of map vision and knowledge.
Again, I think this will mainly come down to just like execution later on, or maybe it'll snowball out of control just from the first gank. So we'll see.
Yeah, you do have a lot of snowball potential on both teams. Silas, once he gets going, becomes pretty unstoppable pretty quickly, unless you devote quite a bit of your CC into dealing with him. Hecarim's like that as well, Rumble like that as well, and then either ADC, when you have these two scaling ADCs on opposite sides, whatever kind of gets the lead earliest in these more or less even scaling matches, I'd say, really starts to push the game.
No, that'll be interesting. I don't know if he got solo XP or enough XP off of that.
Which means that is a double Q. So he's just going to get a tremendous amount of poke on negated.
Yep. We're going to see. I want to pay attention to the Swain here because he did get XP for that, for the ward there. So maybe, I don't know if it was solo XP or if it, I can't remember how ward XP
Engage bot lane, Ignite and Flash already burned as well as heal. The only virus grabs it. First blood goes to gated. I think on the auto attack. Either way, bot lane already not off to a good start here for Universe as Rel makes her presence known with the engage.
Now, level 1 is really strong from Rel, despite like a lot of her combo potential coming from the I can't remember the name anymore. Her E, but I think level 1 they just underestimated how much damage they're gonna do.
Yep, Silver Q does do quite a bit in the early game, as well as Rel. While not necessarily a damaging champion, it is level 1, you're fighting in the minion wave. You're going to take quite a bit when she is CCing you. As the only virus possibly in trouble here, the exhaust is down. The only virus not able to get out just yet. Boobies is here, grabs the knockdown onto the Jarvan, but the E misses.
That missed stun!
And now you have a TP coming in.
Double
TP.
TP.
Going very low, still level 1 on the Seraphine.
That's double TP.
Looking for a good flash taunt on Seraphine, grabs one. 40-22 can grab the support as Boobies looking to 1v1 gated. Gated sidesteps the flag and drag, but red buff ticking down the Sivir. Boobies finally grabs a kill, and 40-22 left on his lonesome 2v1, but the overextension might be here for Universe, as now Vale making the level 3 roam as well. Double kill for Boobies, gonna take 2 tower shots, and now the Rumble looking for the cleanup. One harpoon will do it there. Revex, no arcane shift just yet. Going to go down. Double kill for the Rumble.
Boy. That was a crazy set of trades back and forth. I think that mostly started, though, with an overstay from Coach Gap there. They're just trying to get that last little bit of minion wave into the tower.
And while it does look good in the end for Coach Gap, as they do get Rumble 2 kills, Shed giving up a massive amount of CS and XP top lane, as he's 7-27. Procraft flashing away. A Catalyst pulls the E. Grabs Swain back in. Gated is in mid. The E does not connect. The spell shield's there, and Gated with another kill. Coach Gap coming up big again, and now a 1.2k gold lead. 4 minutes in. Not necessarily gigantic, but it is a very hot start here for Coach Gap.
Yeah, we've hit the 2 kill a minute mark from the Super Server games. So
we are in Super Server indeed. Now Jarvan is 3-1, so Boopy's going to be able to contest Catalyst here throughout much of the early game. Though he might be getting caught out. Good flash by Only Virus from a Hex Flash. Gated just donates the kill with the Q. And I said he was ahead and gets caught out on the Grump. And once again, another good pick by Coach Gap. Can't even really talk about the setup with how quick they're just kind of pulling these off. Almost completely reactionary. They see someone on map and just go really wherever.
Something important to note too is that the Rumble teleport got canceled. So he's down. Currently, both teleports are down for Coach Gap. Seems that Swain burned his TP to get back to lane, but Silas still has it up. So maybe they'll be making some plays bot lane with that. Or you could just be 4-man bot.
There comes Catalyst. They're going to grab Squishy Beans. The Seraphine down again. Gated 4-1 on Sivir 5 minutes in. And there's the 4-man we were talking about in Champ Select. Didn't need the dive this time around, but it does get the job done nonetheless. Veil going to sacrifice a fair bit of wave here mid lane for the roam, but generally speaking, very successful, getting the 80 carry some more gold. Procap
Yeah,
not
this
gonna do
is
too much.
looks like they're trying to keep the tempo up, and they're gonna grab the dragon here as well.
Yep,
So it looks like they're just going for an early game dominance into a quick win from the from the current trajectory of the game.
It's actually a very similar formula to how Miku played against Universe this past weekend. I think it was game 2. Very like big early game start.
Yeah, we were mostly
massive gold lead. Yeah.
It was mostly pushing just to get as far ahead as we could, so that it would put us in a good position for late game objectives.
You had like the Kale and such on Universe's side, so very similar situation Universe are in so far. About 2K down in the early game.
We'll maybe see this top lane pick coming in now that they're both level 6. Well, actually, Silas has a level lead over Shad.
Yeah, Silas
so you could take the Shen ultimate and go somewhere with
30 CS.
Ooh, that's painful.
Gonna pick up a fair amount of it here as these come under turret, but Silas now with the Stand United. Before 4022 has access to it, so Universal a slight margin of power here if something does decide to happen, but Coach got well aware. Not looking to pick any fights just yet, though. As I said, this Veil coming down to the bot side river is going to spot out the control ward and just clear it out. So far, both junglers just doing their standard pathing. Clear going the way of Catalyst because he's 49.
Wow, look at that. Look at the item difference mid lane. It's a Hextech alternator to just an Antome.
Yep, that's...
Well, that is not a position I envy.
No, it is not. And that's, of course, the benefactor Veil got from the early roam bot lane. Sacrifices a wave mid to get a double kill.
So I believe that means we're going to be seeing a Proto Belt? Or Night Harvester out of Rumble, right? I believe I'm getting my build paths right.
Not entirely sure. Silas probably going to go. He's building... I'm going to assume Leandri's then if he's going with a Lost Chapter. Oh no, Everfrost Silas. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Despite nerfing that item, having free CC is always a plus.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the only like half-decent mage mythic at this point. Leandri's and Morello are fine, but after Leandri's nerf changing how the burn works, it's not. It
That's
ain't
great,
the best, yeah. Really need to have some pretty tanky members on the enemy team to get some stuff
Get
done.
the good value. I mean,
is just getting super poked here by Gated.
Oh boy.
Holy cow.
Sipper damage, by the way.
This is not even lethality Sipper. This is AD Sipper. So these aren't
Yeah,
even
this
the
is
max
just regular
damage on
Sipper.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Yep. Everyone is in the bottom laner now. Ruby might decide to look mid lane here. Yeah, they think they have the collapse onto Veil. As he will dodge the E, but now going for the trade. Program immediately pop the ulti. The teleport's coming in from Universal. An ulti channel, but it's in the bot lane, not mid, as they're going to grab a double kill for Coach Cap. Veil doing what he can mid lane, but Universal comes to collect the shutdown. And now the top
I'm
lane.
going to say that was probably more worth for Universal in this position. They get some poke on mid, although it looks like they don't want to take the turret plates.
Yep, kind of interesting there.
Looks like they're going to get some more turret plates bot lane. So I guess maybe that swings back in the favor of Coach Cap, unless...
Ooh, yeah. Gated overstaying here in bot lane. Does not have the ultimate, so Procrap going to grab the only virus. Good flash away from Gated to dodge out of the...
An early flash out of Silas.
Yeah, Universal just looking for it. No slow to be had, but was looking for the Epicon Abduction. Instead, it's just shut down on a Procrap knows 2-0, and another overextend bot lane means that Universal just going to pretty much make the entire play into theirs. Bot wave going to crash your Veil to pick it up. But very good response here from the Universe.
I mean, Coach Cap are sitting pretty fine. They're going to take the Rift Herald in response, as there's not really much up for them. I mean, I'd like to be seeing Catalyst here clearing his camps, but this should be fine. They can break one of their lanes out. Bot lane is almost down, so they may be able to just get rid of that tower entirely, which is set up nicely for the drag in about... I'm trying to find the timer. In about, what, a minute or so?
For Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon's in 56 seconds. So, could set it up for the Dragon, try to get them to push. I'd rather set them up mid in that instance, because mid, generally speaking, a little bit easier to do that with. In terms of
Very
you
true.
have a much shorter lane that Rift Child has to walk.
The only reason I'd say bot lane is because it's almost gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could just assume that Sivir probably able to get some pressure in this lane at 4 and 2 with a Gale Force at 10 minutes. Very strong.
Yep. Although I think Hecarim's sitting on a lot of gold right now, being 2-0
Yeah,
and 3, and he's up
2,300.
40 CS.
Yeah, 2,400 gold on Hecarim. You're supposed to really, like, 1,300 is the point where you're looking at your gold and think, dang, maybe I should take a recall, and Catalyst finally does. Picks up an entire camp tank.
So wait, where does that mean his Sheen is going?
I think he just started it for... I have no idea.
Early damage?
I'm trying to think what else builds. There's like a ton of stuff that builds Sheen now that didn't before, so...
Well, the only thing I can think of are...
There's Essence Reaver, and there's Trinity Force, and there's...
Trinity Force is a mythic, so you can't use that.
Yeah, so as is, oh shoot, what's the new,
I think it's just Lichbane.
Lichbane on Hecarim?
No, but I'm saying I think that's the only thing that...
mythic that is, that I can't remember, but... It is going to be the dragon, as we squabble over what item that is.
Now I have to know.
The one Ezreal used to build. Beginning of preseason. It's a new item. I don't know what it is. Someone in chat can tell me. By the way, big engage out of Joliar. 4-man with the ultimate immediately into the equalizer. And yep, this is just going to be Coach Cap all the way. Universe will try to do it again on the backside. He is taken out. The engage from the only virus. Instantaneous.
I'm going to go out on a limb
counterplay.
Here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say stacking against a Rel Rumble Hecarim is not the best idea. So it looked like Universe there was just posturing in the river bushes.
Yep. They are indeed in there. And they are going to get the dragon here. So 2 Drakes on the Coach Cap. Going to be stacking up for that soul pretty quickly. Going to be around a 22.5 minute soul for Coach Cap if they get these next few Drakes. Gated. Doing fine in the mid lane. Still pretty strong. 6 and 2 now on the Sivir after that. Dragon
the item is Divine Thunder.
Divine Thunder, thank you. Now, gonna be a bit of a lull state, I'd assume. Here, still 7 minutes till the Baron, 4.5 till the Dragon lanes. Trying to going back to some state of normalcy. Interesting lanes I'm here, putting the Rumble against Universal. So the Sylas gonna have some, I guess, more potent laner. Rumble returning to his lane of origin, some might say. Nature's healing.
This will be interesting.
League is healing. Rumbles are returning to top lane.
Looks like we have a pause coming in here, which is unfortunate.
Yep. Been a lot of pauses lately, a lot of technical difficulties. Either way, checking in on the gold here, about 3.5k gold lead at 13 minutes, so commanding lead for Coach Cap thus far. Beautiful team fight. Absolutely beautiful team fight in the river to secure that last Drake. Now we're just kind of in the swing of things, I would say, for pathing wise. Interesting we're putting the Shen against the swing, because I think that's probably a equally crap matchup as with the Sylas.
But at least the Rumble is winning. Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least the Rumble
Game
chance of Sylas. I will give it there. Swain, though, Procraft doing very well this game. 3 and 2 on the Swain, almost at his mythic item already.
Also, by moving the Shen away from the Sylas, it prevents him from just stealing you standing
and
getting quick across the map.
Rel does not win this in the 1v1. Jarvan's going to be stronger as Boobies comes over the wall, grabs the
what?
E-stun, I believe.
What was that interaction? No, that wasn't the E-stun, I don't think. I think that was... Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. Now mid lane
yes, classic Riot interaction.
So gated, maybe it's in trouble here. Arcade shift forward from Revex. Gated immediately gonna pop the ulti. Spell shield is going to block the Q, but now Boobies flash ulti. Gated, nowhere to go. Shutdown on the way over to Revex in the top lane. Meanwhile, the play doesn't go so well. Bot lane, however, Coach Cap gonna respond with one of their own. Catalyst finds his way onto the throw craft. So Coach Cap does respond on 2 lanes.
Yep, pushing that Sylas out allows them to get some turret damage. Unfortunately, we just passed 14 minutes, so they won't get any plates for it. Well, at least unfortunate for them. Hecarim taking a little poke in the middle, but getting the wave off the tower. Looks like the towers are pretty even. This is a rather late first tower, I feel. If one were to fall.
Yeah,
Well,
a
hopefully
little later
soon.
one. This is for how fast the kills have been coming in. Been very slow objective-wise for both these teams.
Very
It's
true.
been a lot of pick making, been a lot of trying to contest for Dragon. Has not been a lot of really getting under turrets or cross map plays, which would enable. Sorry, lost my train of thought entirely. Which would enable a team to get under turrets. Say if Shen comes down and Universal just has 8 million years to hit top turret, something like that.
Perhaps. I'm thinking that Coach Cat may go to take the Rift Herald here. Just to ease their way into breaking up the turret, or maybe they'll just do it the good old-fashioned way, get a pick, and break the tower.
Yep, we're looking for a pick right now as ProCraft once again jumped on by Catalyst for 4022. The ulti has to be used from Catalyst actually to secure the kill, but 4022.
And I think this is fine. Like, using the ultimate there I don't think is necessarily too bad, because the only objective that's coming up is Rift Child, and you don't necessarily need to take it in terms of having any long-term game impact. Because the next drag isn't for Dragon. Cloud Dragon is not for another minute 30, and by then Hecarim's ultimate should be back up.
Yep. And Cloud Soul pretty good for the side of Coach Cap. They're already stacking the Drakes here. They really want CDR on the Stand United. They like having a lot of movement speed on Rumble, on Hex, or even on the Rel to keep up with the ultimate.
Well, imagine the Sivir popping her ultimate. She just sprints away.
Veil, looking for it.
Oh, Get United coming out.
Equalizer. So it's a double equalizer, one for each team, but there is nowhere that Universal can turn to. Doesn't have the damage takedown Rumble with 4022 coming into the State United. And with that pick, the strongest, one of the stronger members here on the side of Universal, Rifttail is going to be the target of Coach Cap. Now, Arthur, quite a bit of people here, so ProCap does have an opportunity to try to push in his ball lane. Instead, going to already start the rotation toward mid lane to see if he can look for a pick onto Gated. Dragon here in just 32 seconds, so recalls need to be coming in here if these members want to back for some items. 1,400 gold sitting on Gated. Veil back with 2k on that recall.
Catalyst still has not been slain, so I think that's who they need to be looking for in the team fights for Universal in order to get themselves back into this game, or if they can get a pick out just like Coach Cap was getting earlier in the jungle onto Boobies, that would be their way back into this game.
Yep, and in the meantime, Coach Cap looks to keep stacking Drakes here. Does not look like Universe is going to want to give this one over freely. They do have a lot of vision in this area as Universal going to grab the Rel ulti, interestingly enough. Not necessarily, it is a very powerful team fight. Although Rel gets a lot of her engage off of her W, so this is not Viego we're talking about. Salas doesn't have access to all those fun abilities. And it is actually going to be Coach Cap initially pushed out of the Dragon Pit. They are going to pop the Riftchild bot lane though, try to get that undercharge tower, but here come Universal and Boobies in. Big ulti from Universal, as well as a good Cataclysm, but isn't enough as the rest of Coach Cap already splashed away. Boobies falls, ProCap with a big ultimate, looking for some kind of kill. 4022 though, very low on the health bar, but another one burns out. Triple kill for 4022 as Catalyst has been 1v2 the entirety of this fight.
Shen Quadra?
Yeah, Shen possibly looking for the quadra here on a squishy BNT. Wants it, but the slows are just a little bit too much. And Revix
They'll need to be
still
careful
looking for
here, I
Veil
think.
here. That Mystic Shot hits a minion. Either way, team fight is won by the side of Coach Cap. Universe not able to convert on the engage by Universal. It was only him and Boobies who really got in the initial fight. ProCraft had to come in late, and then Ezreal and Seraphine both getting 2v1 by Catalyst. Nowhere here for Universal to really turn to, or Universe to really turn to so far.
I feel like Universe had good execution. They were just a bit early on taking that team fight, especially with how massive of an engage both Boobies and Universal got with their combined ultimates.
Oh, Scum! Hey, gets it!
He got it.
Scum!
Oh boy.
Stealing away this poor Jarvan's camps. He's already almost getting Flame Horizon. Let him have his red buff.
Ah, the poor guy. Oh, 422 going in for a trade.
Yeah, Shen,
looks like it'll just
despite falling down a crap ton of CS early game, now is 5-1 off the triple kill.
This is fine. I think also, like they had really good. It was looking really good right there at the beginning when Universal got the 4-man Rel ult onto Coach Gap, and I think that play works if both Veil and Gated don't have flash,
Yep.
because I believe that's what took them both out of the
Yeah, they both
Cataclysm.
get out of the Cataclysm. Squishy Bean's ulti then doesn't hit to the damage dealers, and you're pretty good to know those flashes are going to be up before the next Dragon Timer, so for that next big objective contest will be available.
Maybe they're looking to do something in top lane here as the tower falls, but no, it just looks like they're kind of running back and forth through the jungle.
Side, so there's no real Baron bait they can do here. Can clear out some vision and try to keep Universal or Universe. I'm gonna keep saying Universal for this one. However,
Universe,
yeah, he's
looking for a death bush.
good W out from the Only Virus. Not gonna let Boobies catch him out there with the flag and drag.
Oh, that's an
now.
interesting Ezreal build.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one
It's
in
Divine Thunder! Hey, it's here.
Haven't seen that one in 5
Gated
patches.
looking for the solo kill. Squishy Bean has to flash away. Gale Force, baby. It's an item. It gives ABC some really cool playmaking. And
It's fine. We just get negated by Prowler Spawn.
it's balanced as all things should be. Meanwhile, though, Shen's still going to be pushing out these sidelines here. We haven't checked the gold in a minute here, but after some of these team fights, Gold League now spring up to almost 7K, 6 and some change here.
Yeah, and I think Coach Gap are just going to close out this game slowly unless they somehow blunder a very large Baron fight, or maybe Universe goes for a steal.
Yeah, pretty much. And to chat Ocean specifically after stream, easy peasy. CS:GO. I will have done my duty for League. However, we are still here for Universe versus Coach Gap for now, and both these teams, like I said, still looking for the win. Universal not out of it. I'm gonna keep saying Universal. It's been like what, 7-8 weeks, and I still can't get this team's name right. Rip.
I mean,
Rip
that's what happens when the top laner has the same name.
Yeah, Rip Casting. However, it is a pretty big deficit. This one gonna be hard to climb back to. Coach Gap just play this out cleanly. Should be the win. You should be able to restrict.
Should be.
You should be able to restrict objective control here. You should be able to just get the soul pretty much for free here on the next Drake. And you have to. You don't necessarily have to contest this as Universe Soul. It is just Cloud Soul, so it's not like it's giving them any inherently insane damage increase or extra tankiness. It is doing a ton for in terms of the Hecarim ulti, the Shen ulti, giving them cooldown reduction, all that good stuff. So it does give them quite a bit of power, but it's not anything that's game ending. So you can give them the soul if you feel like you want to try to get this Seraphine, try to get this Ezreal, try to get this Silas, some more items, but it's, as Jarvan's health bar is looking from 2 auto attacks and a Q from Sivir when he's got Gordon Ricker Phage, it's getting pretty desperate at this point in the game. You are falling down quite a bit of gold. You're not really able to put anyone in the sideline. Shen is now able to hang with Universal in the side lane just fine, as well as Procraft, who are both beating 40-22 earlier on in the matchup. Now he's just so far ahead.
I do like the choices of who has the healing reduction on the team, as both Shen and Rumble have itemized for it. Rumble's going to be doing a lot of damage over time, and then Tank's always just going to be getting hit.
Equal as well. And yeah, Universe just going to get the soul here. Good attempt by Procraft to start taking away with the W. Hecarim not there for the smite. So
I think maybe Gated could pick up just an Executioner's here, given that his ricochets will spread the whole team.
I'm not
but
super sure if you need it.
Yeah,
I think
like he may not need it.
If you really want to go something on Sivir here, it'd be for like some of the healing or shielding reduction. It'd be actually Serpent's Fang for later on, which means I just don't think he needs it right now. That'd be like a that'd be a 5th, maybe even 6th item purchase if you really need it in the late game. But with how far ahead Coach Gap are at this point with Soul, don't think it's gonna be needed here. Should just be able to build straight damage. GA would be nice just for added insurance policy if something really atrocious happens. But
yep, and we'll be seeing sort of how this plays out from here, because it'll be a hard climb back if Universe want to win this game.
Yeah. Game has significantly slowed, though, since the portion of the early game. Coach Gap,
We are now less than one kill.
Yeah, it's very... This is very smooth League of Legends. We see a very volatile early game, very flippy early game from Coach Gap, which could have gone a variety of different ways, but they end up coming on top, and now once they recognize they have a significant gold lead, they've been playing out very cleanly. Yes, it hasn't been the most exciting game in the world in terms of everyone's fighting all the time, but they've been playing well. There's been very good mechanics. It's been how it is. Now they have good Baron set. They denied vision around the Baron pit. They have the only virus heal. And the Baron is going to be secured without contest for free. As they're going to look for the fight anyway. There comes the Unstoppable Veil. Going to grab a kill on the Squishy Beans with the Equalizer. Big ulti out of the only virus. Now it's a mosh pit of damage. Procraft falling as well to Veil. Sivir, I'm not sure able to, didn't pick him even a kill there. As Louis, look at the ring, it goes grab a big Cataclysm, but the damage is just too much here out of Coach Cap. The Cataclysm in desperation. And I don't think that's the end of the game.
Probably game.
It's probably game, but I don't think they end here. It is 11K. They definitely get mid inhibitor, but you still do only have 18 seconds on Revik. And the health bars and ultimate buttons and flash and stuff, not necessarily. I say they might look to the end here. I wouldn't put it past them, but respawn timers are a little short still here, only 25 minutes in. So very good follow-up fight, probably a little bit unnecessary by Coach Cap, but gets him a ton more gold, demoralizes the enemy, and does secure them that mid lane inhibitor. So should see this game here end probably around that inhibitor's respawn timer. So just about 4.5 minutes at this point. And Coach Cap going to probably look for the end game here. Got Barons on all 5, can put up a lot in the split push as
maybe a collapse coming out here.
Yeah, looks like it may possibly collapse from Universe Soul. Going to put the Equalizer. Good sidestep from Veil. Has the Equalizer in zone, and he is very quick with that Cloud Drake. Universe Soul burning him down. Good Zonya's to stop Kingslayer from coming through. Now Universe Soul is in trouble. Good charm as well from Squishy Beans, but it doesn't really matter. The damage is not there.
Not enough healing.
Yep, it's there. They are eventually going to get Veil in the end, and 40 is going to be short to follow as they've committed everything into this top side play. But now, the only virus.
Cataclysm.
Good flash forward from Boobies. Has the Cataclysm. And 41 going to fall low. Now Catalyst here. Going to the fight. Coach Cap coming in one by one. Good root on the Catalyst to peel away. Squishy Beans still able to heal and shield. Boobies grabs one more. Gets a great W ulti from the only virus. Now the Ezreal probably should fall. Revik does manage to get the arcade shift. Pre-cut barrage. Leading only to his demise. Another one actually returned though by Procraft on the backside. It ends up being a 3 for 3.
A very random and messy feeling team fight.
Very messy. A lot of, it was more of like a trickle in from Coach Cap there, and that just shows you how much gold they have. Is that they can trickle in one by one and still go even in a fight, but still very good look from Universe. Able to grab some kills, able to grab some gold. No, does it help on the gold lead at all? Not really. Still 11K gold down. But Gated looking for one
looking for the solo kill.
He gets it. Just whoa! Eye edge completion.
And maybe they just end right here.
That's probably the end of the game here. Veil going to be TP up here, have the wave in mid as well, so they can get bot lane inhibitor, have the mid lane wave. Would like to see Gated go over there and actually buff that up with Baron minions so that the Boobies can't clear it out. Had the super minion there as well. And now looking for the end game push. Still one more team fight possibly coming out from Universe as they actually do force Coach Cap back. Not looking to check into Squishy Beans, not looking to check into Procraft and Boobies once again, as that ended badly the last time when they were at a number disadvantage. And so Coach Cap simply going to fall back, buy their time. Got a minute till Elder, and that is pretty much going to be the end of the game, as now gold lead back up to around 12K.
And we'll have to see. Well, maybe this game will go to 50 minutes. Who knows? But I doubt it.
I would hope it doesn't, because that would be a very depressing look from Coach Cap when you have such a large lead and just to throw it all away. I mean, we've seen it a lot in PSU LCS, but what emphasizes good play is your ability to take a lead, do the most effective maneuver with it, not give any ground to your opponent, choke them out. I mean, a lot of their camps have. I don't think Jarvan's cleared a camp in probably 5-6 minutes.
He's now still Flame Horizoned.
Yep, still exactly, and Hecarim hasn't been exactly doing the best at full clearing his own jungle anyway. Boobies might be the camp that Catalyst decides to clear here, as Jarvan going to be engaged on it. Silas looking for Gated, good Gale Force. out of the EQ combo, and Universal going to be another one to clean up. Bale going for Procrab, does get charged up by the Seraphine. All the 40 minutes looks for the backline. Procrab goes into Zanya, still has the ulti ticking down, but Procrab not move on to the board himself. Bale with Zanya as well. And there's another kill for Gated. The ace comes in for Coach Cap. And we did say it was going to end before that mid lane inhibitor respawned, and it shall. 29 minutes, going to be pushing 30 here when the Nexus falls. And that will be game one very definitively over to the side of Coach Gap. Very well played, sirs.
Yeah, and I think it was a well-played game from about the mid-game on or so. I'd say the early game was a bit sloppier than they normally play, and just with how volatile it was and with the overstays in the bot lane.
But other than that, I think it was well played overall.
This is a very heinous comparison, but I'm going to make it anyway because we're casters and we do hot takes. Coach Cap, in terms of stylistically, I'd say playing that very similar to how I've seen G2 play a lot of their games this split. You just kind of flip the early game, see what side of the coin it falls on, and if it falls on heads, you just play it safe and win the game off of your AD carry. Coach Cap, though, playing their game very cleanly, all memes aside.
So then my question then becomes is when is Gated going to play Seraphine?
Oh, no. No. I don't want to see that. No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, Gated. Please play AD carries.
Do we want to see Seraphine Sona bot lane?
Oh, Lord. That would be a time of it.
Seraphine Tom Kench.
No. We already see Seta Tom Kench, and it's not bad. I don't want to see Seraphine Tom Kench to make it worse.
It'll be
no,
fine.
very well. I mean, Universe did have some good looks in the early game. They did have some pretty good respawn, just not enough. Coach kept getting more on the map, playing pretty much every lane as fast as they possibly could. So
I think also they showed some pretty good engages. It just seemed like that their team needed overall to be on the same page to just go in.
At times. That one, I think I was on the third Dragon contest when Universal had the Rel ulti. Very good engage, but they just kind of trickled in one by one. Their backline gets done by Hecarim. While the setup was not necessarily horrible, the team's response just not there, and you can't really look for those kind of engages when you don't have the team behind you. They didn't really have a good front-back position with the flank, so... I mean, you did see good looks from Universe. It's not all doom and gloom, but definitely going to need some improvement on both team play as well as a little bit of drafting there. Not necessarily the worst draft you could have done. Far from the worst we've seen. Far from the worst. But certainly something to keep going off of. Now, we're going to take a quick break here on Cast because I have to redo all the graphics for Pro Draft. I hate the system I've invented. But for that time, we're going to dip out for just a minute and be back with you guys in a second. All right, welcome back. We're getting ready here for Game 2, Universe versus Coach Cap. If you're just joining us here, Coach Cap handily taking Game 1 off of the Universe. So Universe going to be looking for revenge here in Game 2 to keep themselves up in the standings. Now we are just waiting on the Pro Draft to start up here. I believe Universe has yet to ready up. Of course, switching sides, so Universe can be taking on the blue side this time, having the ability to first pick priority. And it will be this time Coach Gap with the counter pick. So let's see how draft plays out in Game 2. And now, yeah, we're just waiting. So, how about this weather?
It's been so much nicer. It's
Has
like
been very
it's still like
nice.
nice and cool, but it's like not stupid hot like it always is.
Yeah,
Otherwise.
like 60s.
Yeah. No, it's been nice being able to just leave my windows open at night and wake up nice and cooled off.
Yeah, we have windows open a lot here. More than I'd probably like, but still pretty good. In any event, though, weather aside, we are getting into the Pro Draft for Game 2. Alistar banned away by Universe. Coach Cap possibly looking to do the, Zillion ban away on R1 ban. Universe looking to spawn. Yeah, just gonna take away.
This. Oh wait.
Ooh, that one, no.
Wait a
no,
second.
Go back. That was a good ban.
Go back.
Go back. Don't ban away Mike's Lee Sin.
I mean, is he even gonna play it?
No,
like, I don't
because
think
there's
he's
like
played a
16
single game of it.
There's
Okay,
16
there's a
champions
Shen
better
ban.
than it. Yeah, Shen ban's fine. It's not flamed for
Ergot,
Mike
okay.
Shen. It's just like it's a useless ban because his Lee Sin's not gonna be played just outright. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So it looks like a slight adaptation out of Universe here. Gonna take away the Sivir and the Shen from last game because they didn't like dealing with that.
Coach Cap also gonna R3 haircut. So Udi are now up on the table. Coach Cap not banning away Universe. Can pick it up on our B1 if they want to. Coach Cap also might be looking at it for the red side draft this time. As we now know, there are at least 2 Udyr players on the side of Coach Cap, both Vale and Catalyst picking up the champion now.
Wait,
So-
Vale plays Udyr?
It's just a joke.
Oh
But
boy.
yeah, I mean anyone can play Udyr, let's really be honest here. But Kaisa gonna be the first lock-in for Universe, so going back to scaling, good laning, 80 carries. Gonna put that one on the side of Revix, trying to get some power here against the Gatus, the only virus bot lane, which was pretty much unstoppable. Only by their own mistakes in Game 1.
So the Rel being picked up here, so I guess they wanted to take away that very strong pick in coordinated play.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like kind of in solo queue. At least
Yeah,
from
you
my
don't do enough
experience
damage
playing
really to
ADC.
like be able to do much on your own. You really need your team to help you, unless you're going AP or something like really troll crap. Oop,
The
I don't know
Graves
about
blinded here.
This is very strange from Coach Cap here. Could have just counterpicked 80 carry. Instead, gonna go with the Graves blind, which out of blindable jungles, I'm not sure how much I like. It does discourage an Udyr pick, just because Graves in the early game
Like-
can do okay into Udyr.
I feel like you just pick something else though that goes aggressively into it, unless Coach Gap knows that Boobies for Universe is not going to play any of the usual Graves punishing picks.
Oh, we do get a
Okay.
cane. This doesn't punish Graves necessarily, but boy, does it beat him up later on. So we do have a
And the
cane, and
Morgana picked
not blind Morgana, but a Morgana picked up for Universe into Rel. Not necessarily as hard of a engage counter as you might assume, because Rel can actually immune Black Shield with Q. So that's a little fun.
and the Xayah
And
picked up.
Xayah,
This is,
yes! This is what I've been waiting for in PSU LCS. More Xayah play. This champion is awesome. You have self-peel, great team fighting. It's pretty much impossible to go into against corridors, especially when you have something like Alistar or Rel. It's perfectly fine into Morgana as well. And
I think
works
the only
with
thing
Kaisa.
here that it's like, so what do Universe pick now? Because they know that the ADC is going to have an invulnerability button, or basically a free zone, yes. Right? Because like right now she's not really dodging much. Like the Kayn just goes, ults, sticks with her, and like maybe you dodge the Morgana Q, but the Morgana ult's still gonna go through it. So
You can,
I think
if you time it right, you can nullify Morgana ult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like total invulnerability. Also, rank 1 cast, I think, is 260 damage with Featherstorm. Or 200 damage base. Somewhere around the 200 mark for base damage, so. Actually, just does damage by itself in corridors or something. Like you're trying to fight in a bot side jungle,
Yeah.
you're trying to run in. Zaya presses Featherstorm offensively and just insta blade colors, and you could be really in trouble. Especially if you already got some other feathers set up off the corridor. But Coach Cap gonna ban away the Anivia and the Wukong. Not gonna let anything super.
Oh, there it is.
golden. Yeah, Rumble rightfully banned away from Vale. Not gonna get that 2 games in a row.
Although Syndra picked up for Vale here, I think that's a perfectly fine blind pick. Syndra has been only
better.
really has like soft counters, if I'm being completely honest, in the sense that she still plays well in most lanes.
Yeah. So Universe gonna try to look for a counter pick here potentially.
They did
Do
target
look at
40-22 a little bit more. The Galio coming
Don't
in.
mind the Gallia pick here. It's not that great into Syndra, but it just if you're not gonna play for lane on Syndra, just play for your team. It roams
This
up.
may
it
actually.
roams.
So I think that means the Universe should be on a hard engage here, because you can't really force well with the Galio unless you're just using it in appealing
You
capacity.
could do it as a disengage for Rel because you don't really want to necessarily run into a Rel Zaya Syndra comp. But with Aurelia, that changes that.
Okay.
It's left open. Every game, blue side on B5, just gonna grab a free pickup, I guess. And Coach Cap gonna go with the Camille into the Irelia matchup. I'm pretty sure it's skill-based matchup. Camille probably does outscale, given that champ is pretty busted. But we do have our comp locked in, so top to bot for Universe going to be Irelia, Kane, Galio, Kaisa, Morgana, whereas Coach Cap sporting Camille, Graves, Syndra, Zaya, Rel.
I mean, looking at the compositions now, it's very, very AT heavy. Granted, Universe doesn't have like a formal tank. Galio sort of is, but he doesn't ever build like straight tank.
Yeah, Strength
So I
Tank
guess
Galio
that
is really
sort
in.
of worked out
Please
in
stop
today.
building in my ranked games. Thank you. Like, please.
So I guess that does bode well for Coach Cap here. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see Kaisa diving the backline with the Galio to come in with her.
Yeah, you also have the Aurelia for front line.
But yeah, we'll see what comes out here. You can only speculate so much while draft is happening.
Yeah, really. It's a little on the rough side. I mean, this is a really hard one for me to determine whether. I think that Coach Cap has pretty good lanes overall. With Syndra gonna probably have some decent priority against Galio. Yeah, Galio can do some pretty good damage on Syndra if he can get in with an EW combo. But not necessarily
I
too
think-
easy when you get stuff like the Scout of the Week involved. So
Yeah. I think Coach Cap here wants to sort of play as like a 3-2, right? So you have Camille and Graves sort of with Graves shadowing her so that you can pick someone off in the side lanes. While Syndra and Zaya want the rail to group people up so that they can do massive AoE damage. But I think jungle corridors will suit Coach Cap very well.
And I mean, this is a hard one to say because both these teams definitely have Coach Cap. Yeah, like you said, I think has as Mr. LS would say, the terrain scaling in corridors and stuff like that. You have Camille that can jump off walls. Graves can zone a lot with his AoE as well as the smoke grenade. Zaya with Featherstorm, Rel as a champion, as well as Syndra with Scout of the Week. It's a ton of stuff to deal with. And Universe, while I will say their composition definitely has some engage, I think I actually like them as a disengage comp more. Let the Rel try to come onto you and then counter with the Irelia. Have Kane come in with what I mean, you could go Ross or Blue Kane here and not really have too much of a difference, to be honest. I feel like it's personal preference at this point, whether you want to just one-tap Syndra, Zaya, and Camille, or actually try to fight with team. Galio's very good
depends.
disengage. Kai'Sa can peel. Kai'Sa's one of the best self-peel AD carries in the game with her ability to reposition, as well as Evolved E giving you stealth. And then Morgana, Black Shield, Qs. Really good for just counter engage, stuff like that. So having Coach Cap, I think, check to you as Universe is really advantageous for your composition. Especially with the ability of Kayn to really get some good flanks onto some people. So as long as you're not checking into a corridor, you're feeling pretty good.
I think if both Galio and Aurelia get behind early, and they're not like tanky enough to frontline, I think Kayn should go Ross, but he may go Shadow Assassin Kayn here to just let the Galio and let the Aurelia kind of frontline as he goes in and sneaks around the back.
Yep, I would agree with that pretty hard. So both these teams kind of having, I guess, they both want to go for mostly 5v5s. So you do have Aurelia and Kayn, which can really hard pressure side lanes.
Yeah, so
Camille though gonna
maybe
be able to
they'll
answer
go
that.
for...
It's, I don't know, it's real tough to decide. I'm trying to like think about who
It's
is really
almost
hard.
a 1-3-1 comp, but like the lane positioning gets very weird because you can't have Galio in a central map position to just go to either lane.
Yeah, without
Kayn,
denying
Shadow.
like Revex some farm or something along that line. It is a little bit tricky.
Because Revex can't side lane very well, and Kayn wants to be shadowing his side lanes.
And again, it's kind of like what we talked about game one with two of the team fight compositions. Although I would give that one over to Coach Cap pretty hard still. Hold on, I am flaming people in German. In any event.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's going to depend a lot on how lanes go, because if Universal does come out on the one trick and just hard stomps 40-22 in lane, it becomes a really hard game for Coach Cap to play. Because Universal, if Boobies gets super far ahead on Kayn, Kayn becomes a very hard champion to play. Or against, I should say. Because he's going to one-shot all your carries. Or he goes Rosk and never dies. Very hard to play. Kai'Sa, she gets fed, she one-shots half your squishies. And your tanks. It just become whoever gets fed, as long as not Galio or Morgana for Universe, can take over a game. Coach Cap, you do have some of that. You have Camille who can do that. Graves can kind of do that, but Cinder to a degree. But Cinder, again, you're starting to get to their element. It's very hard to do, and you do need some team play because Cinder can get caught out, CC'd, bursted down very quickly by the champions on Universe. So less of that snowballing potential, I feel like, on Coach Cap as a whole. But if they can play around objective fights, if Coach Cap has first setup on objectives, they're probably going to win the fight.
Yeah, because Rel 1 off vision is like one of the most dangerous supports in terms of being able to get you that engage. And I think if you combo that with the Camille, sort of just diving the backline, unless Kai'Sa somehow escapes out of that with her ultimate, with the Killer Instinct, it'll be a very dangerous game for Universe to play. Because both of these teams want to move forward, basically, when they're in a team fight. Neither of them want to come kiting backwards.
All right. In either event, we are loading in here for Game 2, Universe versus Coach Cap. If I don't switch the screen, my bad. But Coach Cap looking for another 2-0 here. Keep pushing themselves up in the standings. Universe trying not to get, this would be 0-4 in their last two games if they go down another one here tonight. So definitely hurting some of their standing, as this team was the #1 team in the PSU LCS for a time now, in the hands of 5 in the Church Gods by 1 win. Coach Cap looking to tie the record between them and Universe here with a win. Very big for playoffs, just more or less for standing wise. Both these teams pretty much guaranteed in at this point. Gonna be pretty hard to miss it, but
Now, Universe may be looking for like a late invade here. Everyone
Maybe.
is stacked up on the bot side.
very much could be.
Minions have spawned.
Either event, we do have a cheese top lane coming from from 4022 in that very frontal bush on the Camille. So
Looks like they're just gonna back out. Nothing's gonna happen level 1.
I think they might have expected an invade onto Kane.
Perhaps,
Kane, of
especially
course,
after
very
last
weak
game.
early game, so am hoping that
Yep.
Catalyst, considering he blind picked Graves, not necessarily the best blind pick champion right now, will be able to deal with that and try to take away some camps, try to contest boobies early on.
Universe might be missing some XP here.
Yeah, maybe. He does get up the top
A
lane
little
fairly late.
bit.
40
Maybe. Okay.
Universal
He's gonna
isn't
get
looking at his
walked.
monitor. He's just going to dash away and grab 3 stacks real quick. Get away. Thought he might have just been AFK walking the lane. Is paying attention.
Yep. Mid lane here.
It's a farm lane.
It's a farm.
It's a farm lane. Top
Yeah, I
definitely
think
gonna be where
Gaio-
Ethan is.
Yeah,
We're
I
back to
think
season
Galio
8.
is basically just waiting to be like, here, gotta grab my ult, and I'm gonna leave. Goodbye.
Back to season 8 top lane. Camille Irelia. What more can you ask for? 2 disgusting carries. As 42 actually does lose the second Q. Brock buffers the stun though on the hook shot, but has to be careful.
Okay.
Universal going for it. First
Oh,
blood of the soul
first
kill
blood.
and lives. Time Warp Tonic, you are something else. And
Believe he's
Universal
also-
does grab the solo kill on a 42, and one of the snowball lanes has gotten the ball rolling in the early game.
That's first blood at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so maybe we'll see another 2 kill per minute by 8 minutes.
Sorry, no replay system here on cast. That crap is hard.
True.
Do not have dedicated observers, Sag.
Yeah, because you need like what, at least 2 to 3 people just to make sure.
Yeah, 2 to 3 different spectators for on the same stream.
Yeah.
And now, 4022 getting back to lane with the teleport. Universal going to be keeping that advantage. But does, actually did TP back to lane himself. I missed that, my bad. But does have the double longsword towers. 4022 didn't get anything. No potions. No control ward. Just gonna keep getting toward items here. And now Catalyst looking to extend the top lane grab. Top lane prio and mid lane prio all on the side of Cook Gap. Yeah, failed.
Oh, the stun lands
The scout
into the
link
line.
movies. Does force the flash. Catalyst though following. Has a phase rush very quickly, and Vale gets the kill on the donation for the W. Kane picked off his early game not terribly strong. Didn't have the E up to go through the wall. And now possibly both crabs here over to Catalyst if he just runs down to this bot side skill crab.
If it's any consolation, Kane does get a little bit of orbs from that, but
Yep, a little
probably
bit
not
of
much.
little bit of orbs. It's the good old I'm inting for form. I'm inting for form.
Yeah, and
No
it looks
problem,
like that
guys, I
He will
get
be
form.
going Shadow Assassin this game.
More than likely from runes, yeah. Would expect if he gets far enough behind, I think he might change his mind, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
The Shadow Assassin from behind, not necessarily the greatest pick in the world. Either way, pretty much even gold now with the kill in mid lane plus the double crab for Graves. Gonna be doing pretty hot for Coach Cap after the first blood top lane. Though I believe Universe has a fairly sizable wave to pick up on that top
He
lane.
has been
Yeah,
spotted
has
out
some.
on the spot side.
Yep. So they just know his pathing. Catalyst gonna probably go for his next 2 camps here. Back, clear Krugs, maybe look top side. Respawn of Scuttle Crab. We'll have to see.
40-22 getting frozen on here. I believe it's gonna slow
No,
push now.
it's pushing. Not enough minions.
But
Need quite a few there.
15
to-
CS is not an insignificant amount this early in the game.
No, it is quite a much, and that's again courtesy of the initial first blood. 4022 looking for the solo kill, ends up getting solo killed. As bot lane, Prio
Gated here
firmly
as well.
over. Yep, good tanking of the Dark Binding. As 4022 does take 5, so trying to even up the XP differential here between the Camille and the Irelia. Of course, with Vanguard Edge coming up, it would be 4 Hextech Ultimatum as the 6 tick goes through for Universal. Very big advantage here for the Universe top laner. And they'll be able to look for an invade here on the Catalyst.
It's like they're just gonna walk it out.
Yeah, doesn't want to try to
each
go.
other.
Doesn't want to get bursted down before Irelia can get there.
It's like maybe Gated here is going to get some plates back for his troubles. Still down a little bit of CS, but I think if he catches this wave,
Zaya
it
in the early
evens up.
game is not the greatest on damage-wise. Like, it becomes
Especially
a bit
with that,
hard to contested wave.
Yep. They did survive the level 2 all-in, though.
Yep.
That could have come through.
And now 4 people on bot side here onto Gated, who might be overstaying without the support here. Not staying direct in the mid lane, but Vale just going to auto shove up this mid lane here, force Procraft to respond to the coming wave, and now it actually is end up going to be Coach Cap who gets first rotation down to Dragon spawn, or Dragon here at 6:45, so a bit later than the last game, but still going.
Well, they do know it's happening, so maybe they'll posture here for a fight, but it looks like they're just going to give it over, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, you know, bot lane, Prio, level down on Squishy Bean. And they already think you're the Dragon for free. Kane, again, not really wanting to contest too much super early, or it's
and there's
not free.
also it's also Merc Treads to a lost chapter, which I think is usually losing.
Now, gonna be a bit more of a wall seat, so definitely a slower game than last game. Much further under the kill limit we were at in the early game. Much less fluffy. As soon as I say that, we're gonna get a flash engage, but you forgot about this really cool thing called Black Shield. Now the Dark Binding also lands. A little bit of peel offer from Catalyst with the smoke screen, but not too much else. So about half of the only virus health picked away there.
Yeah, that felt a little too forced, I think. Maybe they could have let the wave come in a little bit farther so that Catalyst would have had a much easier path into that gang.
And now, Gated, not going to get attacked by the Dark Binding. 1 minion there in the way.
Get down, Mr. President.
Yep, minions tend to do that for some unknown reason when you play Skill Shot Champion's bot. Just walk in front of your skill shots.
See, it looks like the only virus is going to take a reset here. Could be dangerous if Gated stays. Although I think if he dodges the guy,
He does have to be careful. Zaya can 1v1 Morgana pretty easily at this point in the game.
Very true, especially if she gets a lot of feathers down with Morgana trying to push up into her face like that.
And now, I would like to comment a bit on Itemizing here. Not normally a huge fan of this build anymore, but Revic's already with the Serrated Dirt on Kaisa. Ooh, good flash over from Gated. Gonna look for the 1v1. Instead, gonna go look on Revic. This might be a really huge overcommit, as Revic does have that Serrated Dirt doing a bunch of damage. Needs one more feather to grab it. Has to pop the ulti instead, so very late ulti by Gated here. Maybe they'll secure the kill without it. So a bit of a botched play there by the Coach Gap AD carry.
I'm gonna go back there for a second because I want to see if he's gonna be forced to be hit by that binding.
Oh wait, Graves doesn't see boobies on the red buff. Oh, it's a tragedy. He thought it was already stolen away, but it was taken right out from under his nose. And now Booby's looking for 42 top lane. Stun comes through on Kane. Booby for 42 has to flash away as falls to it there from Universal. Almost connects. But as I was saying before the fight, I actually do like Serrated Dirt here on Revic's early game just because Zaya, one of the lowest base armor 80 carries from some season, end of season 9, early season 10 nerfs that really haven't been changed since. So not exactly in the best of states when it comes to lethality, but does slow down your build on Revix. It does force you down the road of Collector, which when you have a Graves who gets free armor for his passive, Camille who's probably going to build a Death Stance here at some point, as well
5%
as...
isn't necessarily a horrible thing, but
It's not a horrible thing. Catalyst can 42 might get 2v1 here. The extra ultimate does come in for the save, but here comes Galio. Taunt lands as Boobies comes in as well. Catalyst going very low. He connects and Procraft grabs one. The response is there, and Kane's gonna grab another. Boobies, the 2-for-1 top side of the map to Galio, not cracked in the universe. End up making a pick. Not really sure how that one started off with Catalyst going down so low to Universal before the ultis popped. But either way, Universe taking a kill there.
I can't tell if they were looking to dive, but I feel like Bale should have been pinging there to tell him, hey, the Galio's missing. Especially with
the fact that it's post 6 and he has not used his ultimate yet. So that seemed like a very, very weird force.
Just a little bit. Now, doesn't really lose them anything on the map because, of course, Boopy's responding towards the top side, so you are just losing the kill gold in the engagement. You do get some priority over Dragon here with the bot lane doing an early roam up. Universal does come mid lane to pick up wave. Has TP here for both. Actually, 42 does use TP, so not going to have it for Dragon. Have that for that scuffed fight bot lane.
I think maybe that'll just give them some top pressure, because I'm going to assume that Universe will teleport to this fight.
I would assume. Feeling pretty good on the Aurelia here. Has the Vampiric Scepter, so already is like nearly full build in itself. With how much healing that provides in the early game. It's a pretty disgusting item if we're going to be honest. 900
Now,
gold.
yeah. Top lane CS difference is looking a little bit grim, but being sort of traded back by the mid lane. So, I'd say it's still in there up like, what, 800 gold or so? I think most of that is kills.
Yeah, pretty much all of it's just kill gold here. And despite the early setup here, Coach Cap actually not going to be the first ones to the Drake. Boobies and Procraft clearing out that vision, and instead bottling over Insta. So potentially giving here second Drake. Coach Cap,
It's not that bad.
Maybe
Just
understanding the teleport difference, doesn't want to contest it.
I mean, it's just a cloud. PP will be up for third Drake, so I think they're just looking to get some waves and get a bit stronger.
Yep, and Poison too, looking for freeze here on the Aurelia. Characteristically, her worst position in lane, actually, because Aurelia is one of those weird champions that actually likes fighting with wave stacking against her. With a lot of Q resets, a lot of passive procs, and yeah, it is going to be Universe picking up this win Drake, so no soul scaling here instantaneously for Coach Cap, as they're going to try to respond with the Herald. Though on Vision are going to be notified of the play, so can look to either respond or go elsewhere with their time. And yeah, they're going to look to respond, sending 3 up. Galio going to be the first one in here, so no Hero's entrance coming in just yet. Just find the taunt here on Catalyst.
They're going to steal it?
Oh,
no, okay,
no,
they got it.
secured by Catalyst, but can he get the eye? Catalyst go over the wall, flash forward from Universe, and he's able to grab one. Now Hextech Ultimatum come down, but Galio is coming in as well. Universal not dying, the lifesteal is there, and Universal survives, and now Veil, the next one on the menu. The Herald was grabbed, but it can't be secured, and that's 3 kills towards Universe. And this is why
this is starting to look like a 1-1.
Yeah, we said it with the Rumble game 1. This is why you ban the one tricks, people. This is why you ban the one tricks. Because you get
you don't ego it and
like,
say, yeah, I can beat that. No, you just ban it.
Yep. And now bot lane, you do get a little bit of response here out of Coach Cap. They're going to grab a plate on the bot side. Not near worth it for the 3 kills topside, as well as the Herald being lost. So all that time not clearing camp. Graves going to lose, so Kane going to continue to become more powerful as Prowler's Claw has now been picked up for him. Booby's feeling very good after what was a kind of crappy early game. Couldn't really do too much. Using a lot of this top invis pressure, though, to really accelerate himself in this game.
Indeed. I think at this point you just sort of have to play through bot lane, because both top, well, I guess mid is not lost, but it's sort of an awkward lane to gank with the Galio. Though maybe they're looking to 4-man bot here.
Yeah, possibly. Veil is in the air. I'm pretty sure they have sniffed something out here. As Catalyst does manage to dodge the Dark Binding. The only virus that possibly the area of test as good Skylar Weak lands, but the only virus is gone, insta-killed. Blue Cane does so much damage. Shutdown does come through for Veil. Switching being to be next on the menu. Does that to be a double kill for Coach Cap, so still successful in the trade. 2 for 1 to support the only one going down. Yep.
Yep, I'd say that's probably something pretty good in Coach Cap. Yep, and they may get the Galio here.
They are
maybe.
looking for it. Catalyst is on the backside. Veil needs to land Scallywig. Good flash from Procraft. Makes cancel there by Catalyst.
Ooh.
Scallywig does land. I'm not sure if they have the damage though. Procraft pretty darn tanky. Veil does not have the unleashed
That aftershock
power.
putting in the work.
Yeah. Now, Gated actually looking to grab this turret here. Revix not really having too much damage. Good use of feathers. Not able to grab the kill.
I think he's going to force him off the turret here, and he should just get it on the next wave.
Might be first turret here. Rel is going to be back in lane before Morgana as Squishy Beans goes for a little bit longer. Actually, about to be at the same time. Rel's slow.
The hero's entrance is not up yet, so I think they may just lose this tower unless Gated severely oversteps into the Morgana.
They do have the feather storm available, so could look for some.
That's the tower.
Play. Yep, just get the tower.
Good on the only virus there for hovering, but not being within gold range, so that all of that money goes on, straight onto the Xayah, which is what you want.
while. The game, again, still slowing down here. We get a play every now and then, playing a lot for map at this stage. Boobies though, for a pick onto 422, has a hook shot, so is able to just get out over the wall, no problem. And we're starting to see some item completions coming through. Got Fork on Irelia, Mythics here for Galio Kane. Kaisa still working on her first time. Of course, this is the problem with the straight Dirk build. You are delayed on Kaisa before you get an item completion. Whereas Zaya already having the
full Essence Reaper.
I don't know why. I was about to call it Night Harvester, but I knew that was wrong. They're both like
they look similar.
looking. Yeah, they look
And the Leandri's on Veil, so this will be sort of interesting. As you had said last game, it's sort of more useful only when they have a tanky team, but I guess that constitutes when you have both an Irelia and a Galio.
Ooh,
nice cancel on the Protobell.
Yeah, Veil looks probably in trouble. Boobies coming in, has to flash away, but it's not far enough, and there comes the Kane ulti, and the execution will secure. The damage is there, and that is the
zone is still not completed yet.
Yeah, I just got the stop. Immediately picks up stopwatch after that play hits.
There you go. It looks like they may just... No, he should be up for this next drag.
Yeah, he'll be up. He has the TP. It's going to be close. They have to stall for like a second or two to really get that one, but...
Coach Gap has proper positioning here, though. They're ready to respond. I think they're going to...
I don't know if they can win this fight with Universe Soul here. I actually don't think they win. Kane does not have a Shadow Step, but that's it.
I think if they can force them into the jungle corners, they may win them. But that is also...
Ooh, Brocraft does find one, but it is the only virus. They're going to go for the pick anyway. The only virus chugged down very low. Almost grabbed the damage. It's Boobies. Chugged very low. Goes down. Veil with the unleashed power and the burn, able to grab the kill. Procraft not getting anything with the disengage, and actually doesn't end up being the pick for Coach Cap as they engage on the very tanky support.
Yep,
Now,
that seems
still looking to contest.
Interesting on the target selection. I feel like maybe they could have just walked away after Galio got the taunt.
Yep. Revex trying to get away here in mid lane. That is the third Drake of the game going over to Coach Gap. So still securing, still trying to get towards the Ocean Soul win condition that their team is pretty much looking like they're going to need. They do find the pick there off a kind of sloppy engage from Universe, but definitely going to have to be wary as Universe Soul just going to be splitting top lane here, getting more XP, more farm. It is almost a 50 CS advantage, 60 CS advantage here in top lane for Universe Soul in this matchup, which is absolutely gigantic.
Coach Cap also did a good job in the situation of denying Universe Soul an entry to that fight because he was sort of stuck up in the mid lane as they kited back down the river. Yeah,
that was also one of kind of those things where it was more Boobies and Procraft trying to go onto Coach Cap in a smaller size corridor, and that's where Coach Cap kind of thrives, as we talked about earlier as well. You do have like Veil had a really good scout of the week ulti onto Procraft. You have Boobies getting instantly one shot also by Veil because Syndra things. Gated and Cal is able to do some work to only virus, able to survive and then get some CC. There's a lot of stuff there that kind of works in their favor. And now, it's going to be about 3.5 more minutes here to the next break spawn, so unless we see someone really egregiously overextend here in some side lane or mid, probably not going to see too much in the next few minutes here. Going to wait till one of these objectives comes back on the map. Both these teams just looking to farm it up right now.
I doubt we'll see a 20-minute Baron here, but I do believe that's what
the game I think is a little bit too slow for that one though. There's not nearly as much gold. You don't have as many kills coming across. We already had like 20-something kills last game at this point.
It's a pretty... It feels sort of like running stage crew where it's 20 minutes of nothing, 30 minutes of panic, and then back to 20 minutes of nothing.
So if we want some action, you know what we can do? This is the LCK specialty. We're gonna talk about ice cream here. So what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I'd have to say from Penn State it'd be their Death by Chocolate.
Yeah, you're Death by Chocolate. I'm a simpler man. I'm with the cookie dough.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's another good flavor.
I'm a cookie dough man. I'm not nothing fancy, nothing over one side of the spectrum. Just vanilla and cookie goodness, man. It's delicious.
There is the second tower of the game taken at 20 minutes.
It's gonna be a slow burner. Grab your popcorn, grab a good, nice seat, and be ready because this one will explode at some point. Coach Gap is yeah, they're just gonna be in Baron Vision contest. It's going the way it does. Bit of a
Seems like
bit of a rocky road, one might say.
yeah, Coach Cat playing. Oh God, stop! Please stop. Although apparently the creamery is serving ice cream scoops now. So.
Yes, they are open for ice cream. They do not have milkshakes, I checked, but they do have ice cream. Partly because in-person touring has also started up at Penn State again, as you guys have
Oh
probably
really?
walked around
Okay,
campus.
so they had to
Yeah.
make money somehow. I see.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty busy spot on tour days.
Yep. Although, looks like they're just kind of trading turrets back and forth. Gated
No,
maybe
we're gonna
overstaying
pick
here
top lane
again.
as we have the overstay in the side lane we were mentioning. Procraft gonna look for the engage here onto Gated. Flashes forward his head, grabs a double taunt. Catalyst is here to respond, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. And there comes the Feather Storm. Already good flash away, but it's not gonna be enough as Revex had already used a killer instinct to get in. That'll be a kill on the Gated. Booby's getting out of the way from Vale, who almost goes down. Procraft flashing forward, finds two again. This man cannot be stopped. The Catalyst following down to Revex as well. And now Procraft still looking for more. Goes forward with the E, started up by Vale. There comes the Unleashed Power, but the Galio's got a lot of tankiness. That inherent magic resistance doing him justice. And Vale unable to grab the kill with the Unleashed Power. As bot lane, we still have two guys just farming it out for some unknown reason. And that is quite a few kills into the side of Universe. And we now have a 3.6k gold lead there, about a little more. On the side of Universe, so commanding lead, not game winning yet, but very commanding. Can certainly help them get a lot of Baron pressure here. Catalyst is. This is the problem with blind picking Graves when you don't get ahead is you kind of suck. You're shooting marshmallows out of that cannon you got there. They're not really doing too much damage. They're just kind of hitting and falling away.
Yeah, we see this a lot on Miku too. We'll pick Graves, and it's just like, oh, not a lot of damage coming out of him. But
Oops, all no damage.
ah yes, I built 80 carry items. Yes, I do no damage.
Yes, I do nothing. I am useless. And now, fourth dragon in the game spawned up here. Looks like it's going to go to the side of the Universe. They're going to have the initial setup. Of course, corridor control is the name of the game for Coach Gap, as Procraft going to be protected there with the Black Shield. And Vale does start up the Ocean Drake, so going to start up with one Drake that can slow you and really screw up your team fighting. Before what is definitely going to be a
Rella's
team
in a
fight.
much better position for this fight.
Yeah, Catalyst though already chunked down pretty low. Dragonstone 2000, and there comes Blue Gate. Big hit!
Stolen.
And that's stolen away. The big guards edge onto the entire team. We'll find just about everybody in the Universe. They're just gonna clean house with the ace. 30-second death time, and give me the Baron to boot.
Swishy Beans pinging that.
Yep, that is the fight that blows the game just wide open. Catalyst pretty much solo killed by the Ocean Drake. Just needed some assistance from Boobies there to really finish the job. And Booby does smite through. So now will be Baron here. Gonna go up to, after the Baron is taken, around a 7k gold lead. So now pretty dominating lead here in game 2. Has been, again, a much slower game, but Universe with some better picks, with a better composition, now getting back in their stride. This was one of the dominant teams in PSU LCS. They've been in a bit of a rough patch in the last few games. So they are certainly showing up here for game 2 this evening. Still,
Getting back to fighting for him for playoffs.
yeah, getting back to fighting for it's the playoff buff.
Yep.
Coming in hot. Rohan's going from pre-playoffs impact to Worlds impact. It's a slow transformation, but it's coming.
It's C9 Gauntlet Impact.
C9 Gauntlet impact. But we are going to have another bit of a lull stay here for 3.5 minutes. So Drake looking to see Universe start forcing their lead, actually. Yeah, they haven't played this very safe, but at this point in the game, no one can do anything to Universe Soul. He's pretty much indestructible. Boobies one-shots half the team. Galio is indestructible. Kai'Sa's super strong as well. I'd like to see him actually start. You can play this safe, you can drag it out longer, but with the lead you have, this is where you have the option to actually start forcing plays. Even into enemy team comps like Coach Cap, who are built around not being able to force plays upon. You just don't have the goal.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Kane going with the least counterplay build he possibly can for Gated. But we'll see how they manage to pull it out, because this Graves will scale and become a very competent bruiser later on, I feel.
He is 1 item and 2/3.
Yep. No, I'm saying later on though.
He's a sad boy.
If they don't close this game out though, I think within the next maybe 10 minutes
Ooh,
or so.
good engager, Skeletal weak. There goes the 80 carry. 3-man top from Galio. He's gonna buy some more time, but Procraft also in some trouble. Boomy's not able to do too much damage as here comes Poison with new on and Squishy Beans. Has Hectic ultimatum. Tactical sweep will secure a turret trade back in the bot lane, but huge engage from the only virus. Gonna bring some
we
life
forgot
to
about
the
the Rel.
Cap. Yeah, Rel still exists, and the Wombo combo potential still there with the amount of CC that Coach Cap can bring to bear, and that's gonna put them back into a better position. Still almost 8,000 gold, 7,000 gold now in the hole. So not really making too big of a dent in the lead.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, no objectives on the field.
Yeah, still big shutdowns too on Procraft as well as Universal. Procraft able to grab himself out of a situation. You're losing out on more gold in that instance. And it is unfortunate. Yep. But all in all, good play. That does defend the inhibitor. That will probably be the end of the Baron. So you have defended the Baron push successfully. You lose 1 tier 2 bot lane turret for your troubles, which isn't bad. That is not a bad thing.
Kadolf is now on the board. He has a kill.
He's reset his gold. Universal's very happy. No. Yeah, he has a kill now, so he does have, hopefully, getting close to that Infinity Edge. He is sitting on 2,400 gold, so I think that puts him on it or very, very close. So should be seeing him recall here in now. He should be, yeah, recalled now. Goes for Bloodthirster's Zeal instead, so he's going for the Lifesteal build. Forgot that build the same as iEdge. Oops. But this would be soul point for Universe if they secure this Drake. Certainly a boon to help force stuff to happen in the next coming minutes. Instead, it is going to be the entirety of Coach Cap going topside, so they're going to see the 3rd Drake. They're not going to go for it. They're going to try to get objectives off the map instead. Do have to be a little bit careful here setting 5 top lane, as mid push is still a very viable option for Universe after the Drake is secured. So they're not even going for the Drake just yet. They're going to position aggressively mid lane to try to stop the push. Instead, he's going to
Kadolf might get caught out here on the rotate though.
Yeah, this has to be very careful. He
Marking
is
the
great.
shadow.
Not very strong. Does grab the blast cone over. So they're going to get 1 tier 2 top lane for the Dragons. So they're going to let Universe go up to soul point. They're not going to contest. They're going to continue to try and scale off this play.
And Kane gets the next dragon, going over to Universe. I think Coach Gap here, it's fine to seed that, because of course it does put them on soul point, but that means you still got another 5 minutes to scale up. And hopefully Syndra can hit another item breakpoint in that time. So, needlessly large doesn't build into Seraph's anymore, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
It builds into Seraph's Embrace, yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure I was getting the build right.
Yeah, yeah, builds
so
into
let's see if we
Seraph's
can
still.
complete that. And it looks like the IE is going to come out for Gated on the Xayah. Yeah, so maybe in about 5 minutes they'll be a better position to fight for these dragons.
That's the hope. That's always the hope. Probably looking for Gator to get himself an iEdge before that fight to really start being able to do some damage. Don't really need Lord Dominic this game. You don't have a ton of tankiness on the enemy team in terms of armor stacking, so do like just going straight for the iEdge. And till then, we're pretty much playing a waiting game for the next 30 seconds here till Baron spawns, and we start seeing that dance continue. But with all that on the table, we're probably gonna be in another lull state till then. Just continue to clear out waves, continue to get gold, continue to try to get as much resources in your pocket as possible.
And I'd say like the one downfall of Universe's team comp right now is that they can't siege, which is why we haven't seen the base broken yet, but all of the outer turrets taken.
Yeah, but now
Sand's the one up in the top lane.
Yeah, Coach Gap not really wanting to fight here. Still waiting on those item breakpoints. So they will leave the Baron Vision over to the side of a Universe for now. Just going to have to settle for keeping control for now of their own top side. You'll have to grab some blue trinkets on Baron when the need arises. as such, we continue to just dance around the vision.
I'd say Boobies is looking a lot more comfortable on the Kane than he was on the
3
Baron.
items has the Mirror Man, and we're going to find the engage here on a Procraft, who does get stunned up, had the taunt though. Black's coming in a bit late. Gonna absolve him from the CC, but Squishy Beans to pay the price for the mid laner's sins.
Very
Does
good
go
pick.
down. Yep, solid pick.
But
Not going to do anything, but
I would say that Universe probably still wins 4v5 in this situation, as their main carries are still up.
that is, yeah, there's nothing really that Coach Cap can do off of it except for establish some motion vision control in their jungle. Would like to see some more control wards getting put in inventories, as we have 1 total. 1 control ward for Coach Cap. Or as you can look into Universe, and they're not on back yet.
There are 3 down on the map, though.
True. Very true. Always reposition them to get some more vision clear, though. 75 gold at this point in the game is not that much invested. On the bright side, though, for Coach Cap, gold lead going down was around 8k. Now you're dwindling to around 6. So have started to claw your way back in. As a lot of pigs on the Baron. Universe has started it up. Boobies.
Oh, that ward isn't spotted!
Yeah, they didn't get it. It's one of the hard ones. They haven't cleared out. Boobies actually falling pretty low here from the Baron. Not tanky on the blue cane. And with that, the Baron play. I mean, it's not. They don't lose anything for the Baron. Dragon's not up here for another mini yet, so it's totally fine. They are going to lose their vision around the Baron, which is a little bit of a sad moment. But
Well, I think what Coach Cap wants to do here is just bait it. Like, they shouldn't ever start it here, especially when they're down so much gold.
yeah.
Although if they can sneak it away, then maybe it'll be worth.
But they have the contested soul in 51. I think that's the main concern, because if you give this team Ocean Soul
Yeah.
with the Irelia, with the Cade, with the Kai'Sa, you're really going to be at a hard losing situation.
Yeah.
You don't have any Grievous Wounds really yet itemized at all. And they are
and it
the
looks
Baron,
like they need
so
to start the Baron.
they need to burn this really quickly, because trading Baron for Ocean Soul is not the play you want to make. But it looks
They
like
have 30
even
seconds.
still- yeah, Universe is going to look contested, so they're going to try to bait him into the turn, try to stop backing here, so Boobies can probably solo the Ocean Soul. Catalyst will
Rel's
get
just gonna
himself
hop out the
away.
back.
They had to get out and get
Wait.
the Ocean Soul super quickly.
Oh,
16
I feel like
seconds.
Boobies maybe blundered his positioning here.
Yeah, could have
Although
started
he'll get to the
immediately.
dragon
Now
time.
it's going to be Vale's going to TP first, so
TP.
the Cinder's going to be there. But the rest of the team has to walk, so this is a very
You
dangerous
have to play
position for Vale.
very
Yeah,
carefully,
Boobies.
though.
Gonna look for the 1v1. Vale has to go into Zanya's. Dodges from the W, but the damage from all these are going to go, and Vale's dead. The flank is gone. It's now 4v5 with Ocean Soul contest.
And I think he just was a
Again,
little too
they're not
confident there in his
they're
ability.
going to give Ocean Soul for free off the early TP from Vale. Oh, it's a disaster.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, it's an absolute. They had a chance. They had a moment that Boobies had screwed his positioning over a bit. He could have started the dragon. Could have tried to burst it down in time, but I mean, that's just. Oh, you hate to see that. I have no
Yeah.
words, because that is probably the game. Yes, you did manage to sneak away a Baron, close the gold gap to around 5k, but now you're against Ocean Soul.
Yeah, I don't. Doesn't look too great. Maybe they can do something like with wave manipulation and trying to get their trying to get the Baron and get the most use out of it. But like they still gotta punch through the mid inner
Tier
turrets.
2, bot tier 2,
Tier 2 for
still
gold.
up. I mean, it's only 5 turrets to 4, to be fair. You have
But
one
the
extra
gold
turret
lead
standing,
otherwise.
though it
almost
has
no.
shrunk.
Actually,
it's been shrinking.
Yeah.
It's been continually lowering, but even still.
the effective stats though that you have to add from just having.
And
the
again,
Ocean
no
Soul
grievous
is
wounds. There's
insane.
one Oblivion Orb on Vale. That is it.
Oh boy.
There is no.
I mean, not many. They
there's
don't
no
really
brambles,
apply
there are
it too
no
well.
Anything else?
It doesn't fit Camille's build, and I wouldn't say Xayah is the best at hitting multiple people with it. Although the feathers do put it
You
down,
can-
but not
It just
consistently.
really feels bad on Xayah to not have something else.
Yeah.
She scales really, really well at damage, so when you go into something with the Executioner's Calling or the Mortal Reminder,
it's
it just,
not
it just a
enjoyable.
real feels bad. Like, you know you can do more damage than you are, but you have to for the Grievous Wounds itemization. And Universe still
I
taking
will
this
say
one
though,
very slowly. Very slow game here from Universe. They do not want to make a mistake.
Yeah. I do think that Coach Gap have the ability to flip the game, but that really depends on Universe throwing it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And Universe just going to set up here. There's still 3 minutes to any major objective, so we could be here for quite a bit longer in terms of game time. Gated and everyone just going to have to stay in base, try to fight this one out under a turret with some assistance. That is Coach Cap starting to realize, I think, they're running out of viable options. As not being able to success Soul, certainly a huge hit to their ability to continue to apply pressure in this game after what were some comeback moments. And bot lane appears to be the focus so far from Universe.
And something I completely forgot to touch on a lot earlier. With the Rel into the Morgana matchup, you can actually just pop Black Shield with your Q.
Yep. We got that in champ select.
Yeah.
We good.
I mean, also it can be used on Galio, which I saw not used earlier. So.
Yeah, you can use it on Galio as Magic Shield. No spoilers in chat, please. Thanks. GG. Any event.
Rohan
Only
telling
Virus
us
looking for the
to
desperation
just be
engage.
wait for
Finds
the
way to
throw.
grab some stun. Also on a Revok, but the Ocean Soul means that Revok takes literally no damage. And now the only Virus is going to go down. Revok, the benefactor of the kill. Scatter the Leak does literally nothing in this game in the moment. And now, platform, grabs stun to it. 40 to do updated. It's a massacre of AoE. That's your blue cane, baby. Grabs another kill onto the Xayah. Triple kill for Boobies. First trap payback is there. That is pretty much the game. 40-second death timers. Ocean Soul for healing. Universe going to make it a 1-1 game this time around.
And I'd have to say, it's why do you ever leave the one tricks up?
That is the question of the series. In either event, big impact on standings here, as these teams 1-1ing, I believe, puts them. Universe still stays ahead in the standings, I think, because of this game. I think they are still ahead in the series overall, or the standings, not series. They tied the series 1-1, but they're still ahead in the standings because of the 1-1 here. Let me check on the drive real quick, and I'll be able to confirm that, so I don't look like an entire idiot, because I am. Universe is 17-5. Oh, I thought they were 17-4 before this game. Yikes. I think stats are being updated in concurrence, so I'm not even going to bother checking. They're probably ahead from my initial map. So that's what we're going to go with. Professionalism.
Leave it at that.
Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
However, congrats to both teams.
Yep,
both
and this game
games.
does not necessarily, doesn't really affect the standings for them in this sense, because they're both locked for playoffs. It's mainly just seeding at this point.
Yeah, and that does have some importance if you have specific teams you don't want to play against, or teams you think might have a chance against you in a best-of-3 situation. But, all things to consider. All in all, though, well-played games, two different styles. We see Coach Cap playing the very aggressive early game and coming out on top, whereas Universe win the early game, and then the slow burn, the build-up of resources, and finally the clean end. They're not the most exciting League of Legends in the world. Definitely clean League of Legends in terms of did give it. That is not 5 things of mustard on my shelf. That is a bunch of Nesquik. I'm not weird.
Something to point out too
mustard.
is the Procraft getting in there with the 17 out of 21 kill participation.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of work on that Galio without giving anything over to the enemy team.
Yep.
So yeah, I think seeing both of these teams possibly clash again in playoffs will be an exciting match for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's one of the things. So many of these teams so far have 1-1 split, or certain teams have 2-0'd each other. Like one team will 2-0 a team, and then that 2-0's another team that they already 2-0'd. It's really weird how some of these teams have been matching up. So it does lead to some interesting questions on who really goes the long way in playoffs. Of course, we still do have 5-inch Girth Gods as the #1 team, the team to beat, only dropping 1 game so far to Coach Cap. So, looking currently the top of the pack by far. Universal, though I believe, still cropping up second. I'm not sure how GME has been doing, but they're up there too. Let me
Yep,
see.
and
I
we'll
think
see.
someone was updating standings as I was trying to do them here. So I'm going to say these are current standings because I think Universe had 4 losses before this game. If nothing else, I'm BSing. So take it as you will. Take it with a grain of salt. But current rankings are 5-inch Growth Gods at 17-1. The Universe at 17-5. Gorilla Monkeys at 14-4. Of course, these are all wonky. The math doesn't add up because there's a bunch of bye weeks, and of course, this is like a Giga Super week where you just play whenever. So there's a whole bunch of people who haven't played games. It's everywhere. At 15-7 is Coach Gap in 4th. 5th is currently Sana Pokora Watanabe at 13-3. Boomers and a Zoomer at 6, 12-8. Team Miku in 7th at 11-7. And then 2014 bringing up the rear of the playoff contenders at 8th with 10-8. Still some teams. There's one team currently still in the hunt for playoffs that has a chance of making. That is Monkey Meta, sitting in 9th at 7-11. I believe if they win out, they can actually have a shot at making it, given I mean, they can't make it in by their own hand, but a lot of things can happen, and it might work out. But so those are pretty much
Yep,
your 9
we'll see
teams
how that
fighting
goes.
for playoffs. One spot really in contention at the current moment. In
Yep.
either event, gonna be a really interesting playoff. So it's gonna be real fun, real spicy. I am liking how it goes. I never changed the score. That's my apologies. Text editors did not save, but yep, 1-1 gonna be the end of our day here for PSU LCS on kind of weird Tuesday night schedule. But we'll continue to keep getting you guys games for the PSU LCS as we move forward. And that'll probably do it for us tonight. So once again, I've been Dom.
This has been Nylark.
Yep, and we will be signing off from Penn State League. So we will see you guys back on the Rift in sometime in the near future. Peace.
See ya.